Hi Aries, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you are new, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, you know what I normally do is let flip, fly, fall, however many tarot cards want to come out. Anywhere from 5 to 7 usually. And then I look at it and decide if we are looking at love, life, career, health, or whatever the case may be. So let's see what's going on with the Aries. This is going to be for the first half of March. First thing that came up was the Four of Pentacles. The first thing that makes me think it just makes me think money's bouncing around. I don't know exactly what that means, but money is bouncing around. It's coming in, it's going out. It's coming in, it's going out. Like a ball. Bing, bong, ding, dong. It's going in, it's coming in and going out as fast as it's coming in. But it feels like it's your choice. It doesn't feel like it's forced, like bills that are coming in or things where someone's like, you know, it's like your choice. It feels like it's your choice of where this money is going, not somebody else's choice, if that makes any sense. Six of Swords. You are putting an end to something. You are putting an end to some negative thoughts. Putting an end to it. Trying to think what else is going on here. Oh God. Okay, so hang on a second. We got a bunch of cards here that just flipped out. So the Knight of Cups came out. The Queen of Swords came out. The Moon came out in reverse. And I have 4 cards here. I'm going to take this one, and these are going back in the deck. So let's see what's going on here. All right, so you've got a lot of money coming in and out. You are putting an end to some sort of negative thoughts. You're feeling super emotional about something. And because I'm seeing the moon up in the corner, it feels like it has a little bit related. We just had a full moon. Well, let's see. Today, I'm recording this on the 22nd, so we had a full moon on the 19th, and so we always have a lot of that energy for 2 or 3 days before and after. So it feels to me like you are still kind of feeling a little emotional, maybe it kind of whacked out from the moon. Queen of Swords, you're scared of somebody. It feels like you are scared to death of somebody, and you feel like you're going to get, you want to say something, but you're scared to say something to someone because they're going to stab you with their sword. But it's all an illusion. It's not true. That person is not going to stab you with a sword. It's not nearly as bad as you are making it up in your head. So, okay, let me think about this. And then we've got the Six of Cups over here on the side. So I feel like this is like 2 separate readings or 2 separate issues. The money coming in and out, and you're putting an end to it. So I feel, okay, so what it feels like with the money thing is kind of like, in the past, when money was coming in and out, you would get more stressed out about it coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, as if you didn't have control over it. But you decided to change your mind on the way you thought about money, and it's kind of like, you're like, oh my God, I have to buy a new washer and dryer. Thank God I have the money. Instead of bitching about having to buy a new washer and dryer, it's more of a case of, thank God I have the money. And you're looking at that aspect of the money coming in and out, in and out, in and out differently. So you have managed to overcome some negative thinking around money coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. And then over here, it feels like the Knight of Cups. It's, again, I said, I feel like you're feeling like super emotional, and I feel like it is very much related to the moon. You may have had some cross words with somebody, or somebody said something and you maybe took it personally more than you should have. Because the moon is like all about illusions, but I feel like in that case, it's kind of like you took something personally that maybe you shouldn't have taken personally. And what this person said wasn't nearly as bad as you played it up to be in your head. It's kind of like you read into something that you shouldn't have. And the Six of Cups is... I feel like this, when I look at that cup, I feel like I'm looking at it, happier times are ahead. So actually there's like the money stuff, the emotion stuff, and happier times are ahead. It just feels like this first part of March, or whenever I've done this. I mean, like I said, I've done this reading on February 22nd. So it feels like you are like up in your head a whole lot, and you need to get out of that space of being up in your head, because you're torturing yourself for no good reason, is the feeling that I'm having. All right, let's see what kind of emotions you are dealing with. Just to get some more clarity on what kind of emotions you're dealing with that's got you all up in your head. Maybe what happened between you and this other person and why you took it personally and you shouldn't have, or whatever. Let's see if we can get some emotions out about that. Man, there's all kinds of shit falling out here. All right, so these kind of come here, 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 here. Okay. Okay. Let me think about this. This fell underneath, or is underneath, the Four of Pentacles, which is the bouncing money in and out, in and out. And before, you felt very powerless, but you're not feeling powerless anymore. That goes along with where I said you've put an end to something and you're not, you're looking at it differently. Oh, thank God I have the money to buy a new washer and dryer. Oh, thank God I have the money to make the repairs on the car. Oh, thank God I have the money to do what I need to do. Instead of in the past, you are all kind of like up in your head about, oh, woe is me, poor me, this just never ends, and blah, 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 blah. And so you have got some major money issues that maybe you have finally worked through. So you're looking at these things differently instead of poor me, and I can't keep my money in my wallet. It's, oh, thank God I have the money in my wallet to pay these bills. That's the feeling that I'm getting. So now you're feeling more nourished, consoled, and reassured because you've changed your thinking around the money. So you have dealt with some money blocks that you have had in the past that kind of kept you trapped in some negative thinking. And again, I cannot stress enough, our mind causes us more anguish than anything in the world. Change your thoughts, change your life. Wayne Dyer said it over and over and over again. What you think, you bring about. And so it's just really, really, really important that you control the shit that goes in your head. The news that you watch on TV, most of that is not good. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news for a long time. I have absolutely no interest in knowing what is going on. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to watch 10 bad things to see one good thing. I choose to find other places of entertainment. I surround myself with people that isn't going to be bringing me down. I've changed jobs to get away from some of that stuff. It's just really super important that you plant good seeds in your brain and not weeds. So if you guys are still dealing with any of that, that needs to be worked on. I mean, that's going to prohibit your growth forward. Sorry, man. My throat chakra's not working very good today. You have gotten over some grief. So whatever, you were grieving about something, and this feels more like it was like you were feeling sorry for yourself. And you're not feeling sorry for yourself anymore, because if you look at this in the upright position, look at that. You're like, oh, woe is me, poor me. Oh, nothing works out in my favor. And now it feels like you have gotten past that. You've kind of gotten out of the grief mode. But the creative thing came up in the reverse position. So you still haven't mastered all of your thoughts to where you're in creative mode yet. You may have gotten out of some negative thoughts. So, okay, so let's say that you had 100 negative thoughts a day at one time. Then you knocked them down to 50, then you knocked them down to 10. So slowly but surely you have gotten the negative thinking out of your head. And now you're kind of slowly replacing it with creative thoughts, but you still have this like balance or pendulum swinging is what I'm seeing. It's like you haven't got the negative thought stuff quite figured out yet, because it still sneaks into your head. And it's like some days you're like feeling on top of the world and you feel like you could just like knock everything dead. And I feel like I'm seeing a bowling ball and a strike. Some days you roll that bowling ball and you strike after strike after strike after strike. And then you get up and one day it's off in the gutter, off in the gutter, off in the gutter. And it's like that mind game that you play with yourself. It's like, because maybe that morning you started your day off on a negative note. You watched the wrong thing on TV. You took a call too soon that knocked you off of your game. And I have learned doing these readings, I have to be really, really careful. I have to keep this happened to me on Wednesday. It was my own damn fault. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed on Wednesday morning. And several things were doing it. One of it was because the furnace in my apartment wasn't working right, and I was pissed off at myself because I had not spoke up and done something about it. So that was weighing on my mind, really super heavy. And then I got a message on Facebook Messenger from my dad. My dad died 1.5 years ago. And so some asshole was pretending to be my father, sending me messages, and I fucking argued with the dude for 15 minutes that he was using a dead man's account. And that just put me in a pissy ass mood. That was my own fault for even going there with him. So for half the day, I was just like, I could have just like punched somebody in the throat because I started my day off wrong. And I feel like that's why you guys have good days, bad days, good days, bad days. Some days you manage to start your day off with a meditation or not bringing any negative stuff in. And then the one day that you decide to go off your course and do what you know isn't good for you is the day that your mind starts playing tricks on you and the negative programming comes back and starts sneaking in and that chatter, blah, 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 starts playing in your head. And you're like, God damn it, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Watch that stuff. You need to watch that. There's a reason. You got to keep away from negative people and negative thinking, because if you are trying to create a life of abundance, there are, again, this goes back to oh God, I did a video for you guys back in November, December, that hit 15,000 views. because I was talking about the crabs in the bucket. And I couldn't remember, was it crabs in the bucket, crabs in the barrel, frogs? I don't know. I had it wrong, and you guys posted a bunch of stuff, and that thing went viral. That negative thinking is what pulls you down. And so that's why it's so important to keep away from the crabs. I mean, there's no other way to put that. If you want to be creative 100% of the time, you have got to check your thinking. That's all I can say, is you have got to check your thinking and stay out of places that are dangerous for you. Whatever that may be, people, places, things, anything that's going to fuck your energy up, you need to stay out of those places and watch your vibrations. So you know what I'm talking about. Stressed came up in the reverse position. So you're not nearly as stressed as you were at one time. You have made a lot of strides. I'm going to say you've made a lot of strides. But every once in a while I'm just going to say it, you do something stupid and then you beat yourself up because you do something stupid and you're like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Because you're still looking at things and wondering, why am I not completely fulfilled? Because there's still stuff missing in your life that you're wanting. Although you've cleaned a lot of the garbage up, you know, it's like there's still some stuff that needs to be corrected. But I feel like you also have this feeling of maybe you don't deserve it. So you need to ask yourself, why do you feel like you don't deserve all of it? Why do you not deserve feeling completely and 100% fulfilled? Well, that has to do with self-worth issues. Maybe you need to clear, you can look this up online. One of these days I'm going to do a whole video on it, but it's core wounds. Core wounds are childhood wounds, self-worth issues. I am like totally drawing a blank right now. What all are core wounds? Abandonment issues. Anything that happened from childhood, any kind of negative program that got instilled on you when you were a child that you have not gotten away from yet. It's time to work on that. And if you need to find a professional, and when I say professional, I don't mean a therapist. Someone a coach of some kind, a business coach. If you need to find a business coach that is going to help you blow things out of the water, then find a freaking business coach. I found somebody to help me with my money blocks because I was doing that up and down, up and down, up and down with the money block stuff. So I started a money boot camp so I could get that stuff cleared out because I felt like I had cleared almost all of my crap out of the way, but there were still some lingering things that would make me have a bad day or get me freaked out or make me lose sleep at night. And I had to look at those and realize there's some sort of negative programming that's still in my system. And I'm like, I'm going to get that shit out of my system if it's the last thing I do. So look at what keeps creeping into your life that pulls you off course and find a professional to help clear that out. Whoever that is, whether you don't like the way you eat and you join a weight loss place because that is an issue for you, or whether it's a money issue or drinking or drugs or whatever one little thing that's left there, hire a professional. I mean, if that's what you have to do, if you want to get that last little bit of 3D programming out, don't be ashamed to hire someone that knows more about it than you do. You know, I mean, don't be embarrassed about that, I guess, is what I feel like, you know. I feel like there's a lot of pride and ego that makes you want to go, I can do this on my own. You know what? I don't need anybody else's help. Well, you know what? Just because if you think you don't need anybody's help, that's just taking you that much longer to get where you want to go. And if you want to take the hard road and do all the curves and everything, then fine. You know what? That's your choice. But, you know, after a while, my impatience got to me, I think. And I was like, oh my God, this thing's 20 minutes long. I'm sorry. I have totally hijacked this message. Anyway, union, these are blocks. So union with, your person, I mean, it feels like that's a block for you. You need to do something about that. You're admiring the wrong people. That is another block for you. That might be why, you know, you get like knocked off. Good Lord. Observer just popped out. So that to me tells me that you're just sitting on the sidelines watching instead of getting in the game and actually playing. You're more comfortable in the observer and just sitting back and going, I'm just going to, like, you know, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm just going to sit back and watch. Instead of getting in the mud and getting dirty, you're just going to sit back and watch and play it safe. And not every day. I don't feel like that's every day, but, you know, unawakened. Certain things in you need, I guess there are certain, I feel like this goes along with the watching certain TV shows that is probably not helping things. I feel like this is saying you need to wake up and figure out who you are admiring that is not good for you. Who are you putting on a pedestal that is not good for you? Who do you look up to that is not to your benefit? Think about that. Who are you? There's that pride and ego. I already brought that up. Somewhere your pride and ego is a block for you. That thing of where you're like, I can do this by myself. I don't need any help. I can do this by myself. Well, fine. Do it by yourself. Just quit complaining that you don't have things the way you want it. I feel like this is wanting to come out. And refocus. That makes me think you need to get back to basics. It makes me think you know what you need to do. And sometimes you get off course. We all get off course. And sometimes we need to get off course every once in a while. Far enough off course that we get that wake-up call. And then kind of get the shit shook out of us and go, oh my God, I can't be doing that. That is not good. I have got to get out of that and get back to, you know, focusing on the plan or whatever that may be. All right, I'm going to do one last thing here for you guys. Let's get any last minute messages from the universe, from your guides. Oh, God. Lightning. Okay, so the first thing I'm thinking is, don't wait until lightning strikes you again to get your attention. Don't let it get so bad that literally the universe has to strike you with lightning for you to wake up and get the attention, for them to get your attention. Because getting struck by lightning is pretty damn painful. And I also feel like I'm getting this message of you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire. So whatever you're doing, man, they are closing my throat chakra up big time today. Whatever you are doing, maybe you're not speaking up where you need to speak up. Whatever the case is, you're playing with fire. You're going to get struck by lightning again if you don't watch your shit. And then they're going to have to put you through the purification mode all over again. And anytime the universe is trying to purify you, it is painful. Let me tell you, it is freaking painful as hell. I would rather have my flesh torn off of me than go through what I went through in the last 10 years or so. Animal kingdom. I feel like this is saying, take your power back. Every time I see that bear, that's the one thing I always see is like, take your power back. You gave your power to somebody. You gave your power away to somebody. You gave your power away to the wrong person. Take your power back and get back on path. Whatever happened, you got derailed. I feel like that's kind of the thing, is like you got a little derailed. You know, if you were a meditator every day and you were like, I am going this direction, something happened, you talked to the wrong person, you hung out with the wrong person, and they went, let's go over in this lane for a while. And you're like, no, I want to be over in this lane. So whatever happened, it's your decision, obviously, but you know what? Get back on track. That's the only thing I just feel like I keep wanting to say. Get back on track. You got off track. Get back on track. You were doing really good. Get back on track. That's the whole message of this thing. You know what to do. You know what happened. You know why it happened. And sometimes why and what happened is a good reminder to get you back on track. So this is 26 minutes long. I'm going to stop here. I'm like, good grief. Where'd the time go? All right, I'll see you guys middle of March. Bye.